I hope everyone out there is enjoying their weekend this Saturday, 5 November 2022, roughly 11:30 hours. That is, of course, 11:30 a.m. for those of you in the civilian world. Here up on the northeast coast of Florida, it is about 83 degrees, partly sunny, light wind out of the south-southwest, 1.3 miles an hour. Absolutely a spectacularly beautiful day once again for November. I don't care who you are or where you are, it's definitely something to be thankful for, which is, of course, something I always want to be diligent to do, be thankful for not only having another day above ground and breathing, but my audience here at YouTube and at Patreon, those of you who have showed up for the $1 per month. The training is worth it. It absolutely is. Being able to take the gloves off, talk like adults. There's something coming this Tuesday. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of it. But there's going to be a story that's going to hit a lot of people by surprise, and it's something that I said a long time ago that many of you disagreed with me on. I've said that North Americans just fundamentally don't understand how conservative Latin culture is. South American, Hispanic culture, they are far to the right of many North Americans that would think of themselves as conservatives, because all they see on the news are the Fox News images or the CNN images, and there's only a couple things you're allowed to believe by seeing those. It's like, oh, the invasion. If it were me, I'd be there welcoming them with open arms. But Florida Maquis, don't you know about the criminals? Anecdotal evidence. We have criminals here, do we not? It's anecdotal evidence, and this is going to be the reality. I said, folks, speaking to my conservative audience, there are far more social conservatives in the Latin-speaking community than there are liberals. And they're not going to come here and then vote Democratic. And that's what's happening right now. Go look at what they're complaining about. Go look at what the left is complaining about. All of the huge amounts of conservative Latinos that are flipping elections in Texas. A lot of people would scratch their heads. I don't understand that. It's because most people don't understand the culture down here. And in today's video, I have something to show you that's absolute proof of it. And just as a warning and as an apology to my Spanish-speaking listeners, I don't mean anything by this, but it shows exactly how unbelievably racist those over on the left in North America are. See, they'd like to make you believe that they're the ones with the open minds. They're not. It's truly unbelievable. Now, the first article that I was looking at today was here from RT. Biden lashes out at Twitter and Musk. Quote, there's no editors anymore in America. And that's ironic, given the next article that I'm going to show you. By acquiring Twitter last month, Elon Musk took charge of his social media platforms, spews lies across the world, blah, 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 blah. You see, they've lost the idea that regardless of what the information says, everybody should have access to all of the information and then make up their mind for themselves what they believe and what they don't believe. I mean, I can't imagine what these people would have been like when there was the story of the man in the moon, and the moon is made of green cheese. I mean, there would have been no nursery rhymes. I mean, it's hilarious. There would have never been H.G. War of the Worlds. There would have been so many things that they would have seen as a threat to their quote-unquote, fact-checked world. And that's the key here. Now, here's why I have to apologize to the Spanish-speaking community. There are things in foreign languages that just don't translate word for word. And when you try to do that, you come off as incredibly ignorant and racist. Now, this is CNN. Spread of election lies in Florida's Spanish-speaking communities is, quote, fracturing democratic institutions, end quote, advocates warn. Now, this is today, 9:23 a.m. This article's only been up for a couple of hours, and I bet they fix it. Mark my words, but I want to have it here. Now, you only need to go down to the first paragraph. Now, look, this is what they're using to represent Spanish conversations. Notice anything strange here? All right. Blah, 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 we're going to lose, and it's all QAnon's fault, blah, 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 blah. Ahead of the midterms, the main false narrative is about alleged widespread fraud in the 2020 presidential election, according to Tamoa Calasadilla, managing editor of the Spanish language fact-checking website. Are you ready for this? Factchequeado.com. That's right. I know there's a lot of Spanish folks out there that are just cringing right now. Factchequeado.com. Quote, of course, there is no evidence of such fraud, blah, blah, blah. Factchequeado. The term is hechos auténticos. Authentic facts, as in translated here. Hechos auténticos, testimonios y relatos legendarios salpican su historia. I was, full disclosure, a Spanish linguist in the military. You cannot just take words and slam them together and put ado on the back of them and then add a .com and all of a sudden have a Spanish website. Factchequeado. Factchequeado.com. They have no idea how racist this is. It is the most unbelievable oversight in editing that I've ever seen. I mean, nobody who speaks Spanish would say it this way. This is another example. La leyenda que leyeron es un hecho auténtico ocurrió en el estio del 2001 y corresponde a mi primera experiencia. It's just a story that happened in real life. These are real life events. But the words translate the same thing. It's authentic events, real life events, things that are authentic and true and right. That's how you would say that. And here's a good place to go to see this particular phenomenon. 10 words in English that don't exist in Spanish, and 15 words in Spanish that don't exist in English. Now, I haven't been a linguist for the military in decades. In fact, full disclosure, the last time I served in the military, Venezuela was our ally. Venezuela flew the F-16, given to them by Ronald Reagan. We had a much bigger problem with the Colombians when I was in the military. That's how long ago this was. And even I know Factchequeado is, if I would have said Factchequeado trying to translate any document in the military, they would have looked at me like, where the hell did you get this? It's hechos auténticos. Now, those of you still who think that Latin culture is a bad thing, they still know the difference between a man and a woman in Latin America. In fact, this particular video these screenshots are from is technically, it's the second most popular video on YouTube as far as views go, but it's the most liked video ever. And of course, Despacito. I'm sure the vast majority of you have seen it. The most liked video on YouTube is a Latin song called Despacito. And it's very clear and very distinct in the video who the men are and who the women are. Now, the only technical video that's gotten more views than this is, of course, Baby Shark, but that's an entirely different thing. You give me the choice between Latin, Hispanic culture, and North American culture right now, it's not even close. It is not even close. And these are the people you want to keep out of the country? I don't care if they do bring some criminals with them. I truly don't. I'll take these folks over the left any day. 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. Because they know right and wrong. God is the number one thing in their lives. Family is number two. And nothing gets in the way of that. And they know, strangely enough, how to create a family and how you need an actual man and an actual woman. Go watch Despacito again and look at the numbers of people that have liked it and watched it, and tell me again that these people are an enemy. For the right, for conservative family values, it's not even close. It's not even close. And this article from CNN is perfect example of how unbelievably, I don't know who would have created factcheckeado.com, but it's clearly nobody who's ever studied Spanish or ever studied Spanish culture or had any college level education. I mean, it's probably some high school kid. I mean, the managing editor there, I'll have to figure out who Tamoa Calzadilla is, but fact check, that's just horrible. CNN, you need to apologize. You need to absolutely apologize for this. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible, but I will leave it there. So, God bless. Have a great weekend. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.